Welcome to the Blue Bridge. So, Chelsea lose to Manchester United or fail to win at Old Trafford for the 13th year in a row. Water is wet. Board, manager, I'm coming for you. T-shirt says I'm fine, but I'm really not. Where can I start? Shambolic, disgraceful, terrible performance. And I ain't even blaming the players. I'm blaming the board. I'm blaming the manager for this one. This is entirely on them. Obviously, the players weren't great, but listen, they gaslighted us and told us that they were happy with the goalkeeper that we got. Just because he had one decent performance in the World Club Cup, all of a sudden, he's the goalkeeper that we're sticking with. Magnon was there. 25 million. Okay, he's only got 1 year left on his contract. I don't care. 25 million, you pay it. We've sold Mason Mount for 50 million with 1 year left on his contract. So why can't we buy a player for 25 million and sell Sanchez or the other guy? I know we had to be one in, one out, but surely we could have got 15, 20 million for Sanchez or Jorgensen. Both of them together don't make one decent goalkeeper. And okay, Sanchez has been okay-ish, but we always knew that he was going to have a bozo moment or two or three or four or five or six, because that's what Sanchez does. Sanchez, he makes last year made the most mistakes in the Premier League. This year is going to be no different. The guy is panicked. Just let him, don't go in for the challenge. You know that he's the last man. What? So they score a goal. We could have come back into the game after that. You're 4 minutes into the game, and you're putting us at a disadvantage from the beginning. Going back to the Magnon situation, 25 million gets you Magnon. Sanchez and Jorgensen could cost us Champions League. How much is Champions League worth? 60, 70 million. So for not wanting to pay 25 million, we could potentially miss out on a further 50 million. Because if we carry on playing this way, there's other teams better than us. Tottenham are better than us this season. Even Bournemouth could sneak into top five. We laugh, but Bournemouth at the moment, they look better equipped than we do. And so top 6, 7 may be a struggle for us this season. And because we have gone into the season undercooked. They gaslit us and said that our defence is okay after the injury to Levi Colwill. In what world is this defence okay? We could have gone out and bought a top class defender and got rid of your Shalabars or Tosins, who are not up for it. That, as I said in my preview, if you watched it, Barcelona against Bayern Munich, I said these guys are decent, but they probably are on par with at least 70% of the Premier League defenders in the 6 to 18 category, not the top 3 or 4. They wouldn't even get in as reserves for Arsenal. So, and we are expected to have these guys as our first choice centre backs. But yet they were told us that we were okay in that department. We splashed out 95 million on 2 wingers who today, when they were needed, they weren't even called upon. They turned to someone, Tyreek George, who was out the door on the way to Fulham until the last minute, and something happened that he came back. So no Gittins, no Garnacho, and so why did we spend that 95 million? We wasted 95 million on 2 positions where they're not even trusted. That 95 million could have gone for a world-class centre back and a decent goalkeeper. But yeah, we splashed out on 2 wingers who we don't even want to use. We go in because Pedro came in as a 10 or as a auxiliary striker who can play 9 but can play multiple positions. But yet the board deem him as a number 9, so we go in with a guy who's not really a number 9. I'm not knocking him because he was fantastic today. He worked hard, but he's not an out and out number 9. And we outcast Nicholas Jackson and say that he's not going to be part of the plans. He goes, Delap gets injured, and we're left with no out and out striker. Great squad building. it's such a joke. And that's the board of directors, and they've been rewarded for their incompetence with a 6-year extension. May that make sense? So we're worse for a balanced squad than we were last season. Undercooked, not ready. Loads of injured players as well. We got injury-prone players all over the park. Lavia nowhere to be seen, and Fofana, who was decent today, comes off with another injury. Can't make it up. This Manchester United team, I warned you guys though. I did say they go in as favourites, and I expected them to win. So I'm not even surprised that they beat us today, because we don't win at Old Trafford. But if we had a braver manager, if we had a manager who actually knew what he was doing, then it could have been different. What is this manager playing at? He just showed himself to just be not an elite level manager. Okay, people can go off a one-off tactical masterclass against PSG. You can't live on that forever. You're judged throughout the whole season, not on what you do in a one-off game. You know, anyone can be good tactically set up for one particular match, but can you change your tactics against different teams? That's what you're judged on. And today he came out wanting. He came out with these real cowardice type tactics. It was okay, we went down to 10 men, and how you react as a manager just reveals a lot about you as you know, how good you are, how you act in adversary, how you can under pressure. Are you able to make the right decisions? And today he made all the wrong decisions. And my only thing is he putting a finger out to the board and saying, you didn't back me in the market, this is what I've got to work with. Sometimes managers send messages, but this ain't the time to send these sort of messages, because the window doesn't open until January. So what good is it going to do if you're going to be sending cryptic messages to the board? But what he did was unforgivable today. First of all, he takes off Esteval, who is a fast counter-attacking winger, and he takes him off 4 minutes in, and once again scapegoating the youngster. Okay, he had to take somebody off, so maybe he's thinking, I'll give him a pass on that one, because he's the least experienced out there, so he probably wanted the experienced players out there. So I'm not really knocking him for that. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. But when you're taking off all your attacking options, you're taking off Pedro Neto, you're taking off Cole Palmer, you're replacing them with defenders. You know, you're not even doing a like for like. He was trying to hold on to a 2-0 defeat. Come on, you're holding on to a 2-0 defeat. Ridiculous. Rather than trying to be brave, because they went down to 10 men as well. 2-0, the game's even now. So you can come back into the match. So you got 10 against 10. And this is the Manchester United side. You're low in confidence. You score a goal early on in that second half to go 2-1. All of a sudden, Manchester United are going to be getting a bit nervy. But yet, you make these stupid defensive substitutions. Bringing on Milo Gusto when you need a goal. You got wingers on the bench. What's all that about? Then you bring on an inexperienced Tyreek George. Tyreek George hasn't looked good at all this season, and you're bringing on Tyreek George ahead of the two wingers, that the £95 million wingers that the board has given you. Again, is that just a message to the board that these guys that you've given me are not elite players? So, and then we get a goal back, but we've got no attacking players on the pitch who can then capitalise on that, and so it's just a disappointing 2-1 defeat in the end. And what we've seen with Maresca as well, when he was forced to put Reece James in his rightful position, this is a Reece James that you've been robbing us of for a season and a half now. A guy who can go up and down the byline, who puts in delicious crosses, and yet you want to play him in midfield and other positions all the time. You know, all this inverted nonsense that you do, and it's just not good enough. So, you know, we Champions League, got into the Champions League position. This was the season to do a proper rebuild, bring in some experience, but yet it's more of the same. And you know, just because we got top four last season, let's be honest, we got top four because a lot of these other teams like Forest sort of they fumbled it after being in a good position. Newcastle and Aston Villa started losing games as well, so we just managed to sneak our way back into the top four, and it's not because of how good we were, it's how poor some of the rest of the teams were as well. So, a lot of people were, on the crest of a wave after that World Club Cup victory and thought that we can do something. But towards the end of the window, the board let us down, and this is what we got. This is the cards we've got to deal with. And, okay, I may be being a bit negative, a little bit of sympathy. This is always going to happen this season because of the Club World Cup. So I'll not be too harsh on some of the performances, because we are going to be, we've had less pre-season than most people, so injuries are going to be something, and some performances are not going to be great. But with better purchases and better decisions by our manager, things could be a lot better than what they are. So I may feel better about it in the morning. I doubt it. I'm fine. No, not really. So guys, let me know what you think about it in the comment section below, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.